Hey guys, I just wanted to show you a new feature within our forms, and it's called the waiting completion feature. And the way this works is that you can fill in some information, and let's say there's other information that needs to come. You would simply click on save and continue, and that draft entry has been saved. And then when you go to the waiting completion tab, you can now see that entry is there ready to be completed, and you can now complete that if you want, but you may also go save and continue for a later stage. And the form is still available for other users to fill out information, and for you also to fill out information if you wanted to create a new entry. But you can always go back to the waiting completion area and you can complete that form if you wish, just by clicking on it, which will reload it, and then you just finish the form and you're done, and then you go submit this time. So once it's submitted, it's officially out of the waiting completion list, and you'll see now that it's in the entries here. So all your entries are viewable here, and this is a very basic form, as you can see. Now there's one other feature to this. Let's say you have a number of users that you would like to also contribute to the form, because by default, whenever you put an entry in here, unless you're the administrator or an editor, you won't see other users' entries in there. But with the waiting completion section, you can actually have other users work as a team on that particular entry. So let's say you have a form that might require somebody to fill in one section, then it requires somebody else to fill in another section. Then, you know, I know this is a bad example on this form, it's pretty basic, but let's say, for instance, Bill comes in and Bill has to fill in the first field. Bill did this, and then he saves that he's done that bit, then he goes save and continue. Now in the past, only entries filled out by Bill would be the only ones he would see. But because this has been put in waiting completion, that's viewable by Bill. But there's one other thing we have to do to this form to make it viewable and usable by some other user in the system, and that is to come to the actions and go save and continue settings. There's one more setting, and this is allow set contributors. So from here we can say that Pat, there isn't a Bill in there, but Harry, we'll make Harry, we'll make me as well as one of the contributors to the form. So what this means is that when somebody fills out an entry and it's waiting completion, as I said, normally that entry would only be viewable to the person who created the entry. But because we've set the contributors to this form as Pat and Harry, when Pat or Harry log in, they can also see this entry and see that it's waiting completion, and that'll come up in theirs as well. So then they can go in and go, Pat did this, to say he's done his part, and then he can also go save and continue, or if it's finished, he can go submit. Now the beauty of doing that is that it's taken out of the waiting completion, but it's also taken it out of the waiting completion for the original submitter as well. So I hope that helps. I think that might help you with getting some sort of a bit of a workflow kind of arrangement. Thanks very much.